As of now, my video is still uploading and I would like to take this opportunity to address a few things. Just because I am not there to moderate the server, link is here, doesn't mean that I don't know what's going on inside. As usual, I'm not gonna hold back, I'm gonna be upfront about it, just as how I usually am. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Whoever this is referring to, I am just going to tell you straight to your face. Whether you choose to accept it and heed our advice, it's up to you, but I'm just going to say your behavior in the server right now is completely unacceptable. It's not because I disagree with your plans or anything. It's the way you treat the other members in the server. Oh, by the way, I'm showing this screen. It's because he's the admin of the server, and even though he no longer manages YouTube, he still manages his server. And I'm just here to address the things that has been going on in his server. I just want to point out that I have no issues with these people. They're nice people in real life. It's just that the leader especially is very prone to getting confrontational and fight with other people for no reason. Many people have tried to tell him nicely about it. He just keeps continuing, and every single time he just pushes his own boundary. The server is a place for people to share their ideas. Yes, obviously when you share a bad idea, we would probably make fun of it a little bit. Like, we have nothing against you, but we would just make fun of the idea and life goes on. Just don't take it to heart. And we would just laugh it off, and we also learn things along the way. That's how I am as a person. It is completely okay to give your opinions, share your thoughts, share your own ideas, or even your own server's ideas. But this is definitely not the place for you to just come in, think you are like some know-it-all, book-smart scholar, try to lecture other people, and try to force other people to agree with you, otherwise you're gonna start a fight with them and stuff like that. I, and not just me, many people have noticed that the leader, when his core ideas are challenged and when people disagree with the fundamentals that he thinks, his own perception, that he thinks makes up bus planning in Singapore, when he doesn't even have that much experience in bus planning. In fact, most other people within the server have way more experience as compared to him. When people say his ideas are bad, and it's not just one or two ideas, it's when people challenge these three extremist ideas coming from him, he would start to get utterly defensive, and he will even start fights like I've said before. Like, two of my friends, I think in recent times, kept arguing with him, and then he plus one other member has been like mistreating these two of my friends a lot, simply because they disagree with his fundamental ideas when it comes to bus planning. Now, I just want to make it clear that this is not a case of bullying. This is more of a case of like power tripping, even though you yourself don't have much experience when it comes to like planning routes, bus planning in general. Or like, how to say, it's like trying to exert way too much. See, here's the thing. It's okay to be assertive. Even I am assertive most times. But I know my limits. I know how to, even if I disagree with them, acknowledge other people's ideas. And you guys really need to learn how to do the same as well. I can be harsh, but at the same time, I am also not unreasonable to the point whereby I'm like, no, you cannot do this, no, you cannot do that. I still keep it within consideration, just that it's not really a priority or anything or something along those lines. See, yes, I can be really blunt and upfront about my own, like when I'm criticizing other people's routes, but here's the thing. I mean it, and at least I say it straight to your face. I don't go around pretending like, oh, I have a problem with you, but I don't say it in front of you or something along those lines. This is not meant to be an attack on you specifically, but I just need you to be more mindful about your behavior and how you treat other people in the server. You can be passionate, you can be assertive, but there always has to be a limit to it. This applies to me as well. Even I am aware of this fact as well. I mean, those people, they argued that Singapore should have 700 bendies. Yes, I love bendy buses, but let's be real. The cap is around at 400 and not 700. There is just no space to park and store them or to operate them. Just 400 is the max. And ideally, we should have like around 150 to 200 of them operating in the neighborhoods and not really like in the city centers unless really needed. Yeah. So I'm just a bit more realistic when it comes to like these things. I don't try to like push the boundaries too hard or anything. I just go by what's more realistic, and even if it's not realistic, I try to put that idea in the back of my mind and see if I could find any use for it in future. So even if I reject your idea, I'm not completely disagreeing with you in most cases, unless your idea is like really, really horrible. I mean, that's for me. And you honestly need to learn how to do the same as well. So the main point is, just because somebody challenged your core ideas or doesn't agree with you, this doesn't give you the right or the audacity, authority to be dismissive or rude or defensive towards them when they are just like nicely and objectively pointing out the flaws in your own ideas and how, like, let's say your rapid buses just cannot work in Singapore's context and why they all have to be local stops. And the thing that I'm really disturbed about, that I've already explained in the other video, is that you are literally talking to a person who has lived in Taman Jurong ever since the day he was born. Obviously, he's gonna have more experience than you. So don't come in and decide that Taman Jurong residents need this or need that or want this or want that. It is up to the residents themselves to decide, to feed back to the MPs and stuff like that. It is impossible to interview the whole neighborhood or something along those lines, but generally try not to touch their existing services unless absolutely necessary. I mentioned in the previous video that I was okay with stretching both ends of Service 92. And I don't understand why the leader is so stubborn. I said, you want to extend both ends of 92, it's okay. Like, you want to make it go to Harbourfront, you want to make it go to Resorts World Sentosa, you want to make it go to Beach Station Bus Terminal within Sentosa, you want to plop it at Jalan Bukit Merah Central, the Bukit Merah Bus Interchange, you want to plop it at Kampong Baru Terminal, you want to extend it to Shenton Way, Maxwell, or wherever you wish, go ahead. I, for the record, did not ask you people to use a trunk service regardless of how you do it. Like, I never told you guys to use a trunk service to eat up a feeder service like this, or like when you extend it to Harbourfront. I've already explained why 92 and 273, a trunk and a feeder, have to be separate, because whatever happens at the congestion prone area it's going to affect the feeder bus service. It's going to make the frequencies a lot worse. Feeder buses are like, some services have trunks. Some areas have trunks. Some areas have feeder bus services, but feeder bus services are like the most basic in the sense that they are short routes just designed to bring people to the nearest, I hate using this term, but like just hubs. Doesn't have to be an MRT hub, it could be a bus hub as well. And a bus hub is a bus interchange or a bus terminal, or at least a major bus stop, like in the case of 115, Kovan. It's both bus and MRT hub in that sense. Again, I don't like using this term, but I'm only using it to explain this whole thingy. You could have literally just plopped 92 to Bukit Merah or Harbourfront or Sentosa or Kampong Baru, Shenton Way, Maxwell, wherever you want. I told people many times, do not use a trunk to eat up a feeder. Every single time they tried to change their plan of 92 in a 92 extension to somewhere, they just have the urge to, I don't know why, they just have the urge to eat up a feeder service that is not even broken in the first place. I know it's OTA on weekends, but it's because this area isn't that high demand. Just because it's OTA, this doesn't give you the right to just merge them and make these people suffer the consequences of congestion. And as I've told you guys, existing bus lanes are already good enough. They cannot be put on expressways. I mean, AYE kind of has those slip roads, but those are already built way ahead of time. They were already planned from the start. If you want bus lanes, you might as well just build viaducts. And when you suggest viaducts to LTA, they would just say, oh, we would rather you channel the resources to build a train line. Not that I agree with that, but this is kind of their outcome anyway. So this is why bus lanes on expressways are generally not worth it. It's not fair to every other road user just for, I don't know how to say it. It's like, it's unfair if you were to send back every single other road user just to make your buses run faster on the expressway. If you want bus lanes, you have to plan it right from the start and not add bus lanes to existing expressways. They're not even suggesting viaducts. They are like just straight up saying, oh, we'll cut off the leftmost lane and then put a bus lane there. You put it on the left or the right, the other vehicles, they have to filter in and out to their exits, and it's gonna cut into the bus lane anyway. It's just doing way more harm than good. Like, can you imagine a whole load of vehicles just trying to filter into the bus lane because they need to use the exit, whereas the buses are not using the exit? This is the problem I have with anti-car people. They think that screwing over existing road users will make people ditch their private vehicles. For me, I'm not anti-car. I'm just like, just commute in whatever way you want to commute. Yes, we should focus on making bus or train more accessible, better for people who really want to take bus and train, but if they don't want to, we're not going to force them. Okay? That's how it's supposed to work. This is why I am generally against anti-car people, even though I am not a car enthusiast myself. In fact, I like Mazda's Miata, you know, the Wing Wang cars. Are they even vintage? I don't know, but yeah. I just don't like it when people get too extreme. I've already talked about rapid buses and why they cannot work in Singapore's context unless it is a newly crayoned route and not a conversion of an existing local route into a rapid route. I've already talked about that in the previous video. And then with regards to what was the second point? It was the trunk eating feeder. Okay, this is just a complete misunderstanding. It's like they think that merging bus services would, and then the resultant bus service would magically use less resources. When you speed up buses, you would need less resources. They tend to get very delusional when it comes to this because you are just shifting the problem somewhere. You are not solving it, I feel. Like when it comes to like the whole bus route reorganization, you're just shifting the problem somewhere. Yes, there is a way to shift correctly so that you actually tackle the problem and make it so that you have a more efficient use. You make it so that the resource use is more efficient. Yes, I agree. There is a way to rationalize bus services, but you don't go around and start reorganizing completely changing the backbone and the structure, the current network, to a point whereby it completely destroys the original purposes these bus routes even have. Don't just look things from a macro view. You need to analyze every single bus service. What purpose does it have, macro or micro, and even if you don't understand the purpose, what do you think its purpose is? You discuss with people that are actually familiar with the bus route, and over time you get more experience. That's how it's supposed to work. And these people think that, oh, we can just solve these jams using bus lanes, right? Wrong. I've already explained why they couldn't. And because of this, you cannot just carelessly merge trunks with feeders, merge trunks with trunks. I mean, that one, you technically could, but you need to be careful with how you do things. Or merge feeders with feeders. But trunk eating up feeders, again, there were some instances of those, but it's only because it's convenient. If it's not convenient you don't force integrate trunks and feeders together. They are completely different. One plies the main road, one plies the inner roads. Yes, there are hybrid bus services like 28, or even those like 38, 60, and what is the other one? Service tree that do that. Again, I've already made videos explaining why they decided to make 28, 3, 38, 60 wind into the inner roads, or make it so that two feeders becomes one trunk. I've already explained the specifics of those in other videos, and I really don't want to repeat myself. The bottom line is that yes, there might be differences in ideology and stuff like that, but I would just like to reiterate again, I am not okay with what is happening inside TIB1234T's server right now, especially in the route amendments or bus planning channels. Not just one channel, but it's like a whole array of them, I think. I'm not happy that they are trying to, I don't know, like brainwash people to agree with their ideas, and when people disagree with them, they would go around fighting with those people when those people challenge their core fundamental ideas and stuff like that. I am not okay with that. Their train master plan is actually quite okay, except the part whereby they try to send a train line into Pulau, you know where. That's not even realistic. But other than that, their train side is okay. Their bus master plan, look, I don't mind it as an imaginary thing, but I'm not okay with them just taking their fantasy stuff, shoving it, and forcing the TIB1234T server people, the server members, to accept them, and if they don't accept them, they're gonna get criticized by them. More often than not, the leader plus one other member have been very, very condescending to my friends and the other server members as well. This has to stop. I get that people can be stubborn, even I can be stubborn at times, and people definitely have the space to grow, but I'm sorry, when it really reaches this point whereby you become so defensive and you become so dismissive and condescending towards other people who don't agree with your extreme ideologies, I have to step in and say that's not okay. Once again, the server is not a place for you to bring in your ideas from the other server in an attempt to force people to agree with you all.